Hi ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys are doing amazing today. So today in this video I wanted to talk to you about intuition, okay? I think intuition is extremely important, and it's also, I believe it's a skill, it's a skill, although it is innate, right? And what is intuition, right? First of all, it's basically the ability, right, to understand something instinctively, okay, without the need for conscious reasoning, okay? And so, intuition, like every skill, intuition can be improved, okay? If you don't practice something, right, like for example using your muscle, right, if you don't use your muscles, you're not going to have any, right? Of course we all have muscles, but some of us have developed muscles and some underdeveloped, right? And so same applies to your intuition. If you want something to get stronger, right, you have to use it, and you have to train it, okay, in order to improve it. And so this applies to your intuition too. A lot of us, especially for the guys out there, right, they question their intuition, and they prefer, instead of their intuition, they prefer everything to be logic based, right? So they prefer the mind. However, your mind or your rational mind can only pick up and can only understand so much. It is limited to an extent. Your intuition, on the other hand, is not limited. With your intuition, you can pick up a lot more information than you would ever be able to pick up by just simply using your mind. Okay, so it's important to remember that. And so in this video, guys, I wanted to discuss intuition. I wanted to discuss intuition and how you can actually straighten your intuition in order to become more intuitive, right? And when it comes to many different things, right? When it comes to relationships and other people, when it comes to jobs, when it comes to opportunities, when it comes to everything, basically. If you have kids, when it comes to your kids, right? When it comes to anything, even like looking for things at home. So when it comes to intuition, you should definitely train it, get better at using it, and trust it. Most importantly, trust it, and then you have a very useful skill that will improve your life, that will even save your life. I find that when it comes to emergency situations, I don't know about other people, but my intuition just goes into overdrive, okay? You guys, I've been in emergency situations before, right? And my intuition was just off the charts. It was just like bam, 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 like alarm rings, like alarm. It was just very alarming. It was very, very obvious. Okay, so I could never ignore it, really. I couldn't ignore it, right? So there was a case where doctors almost ended up cutting my leg, okay? And so before it happened, okay, I had an infection, and there was like a red line going up my leg, okay, and suddenly it just started going up really, really fast, right? And I literally saw it. And so I had a blood infection, okay? And so the doctors told me like, hey, just take these pills, you'll be okay, but my intuition was like, whoa, go to the emergency, so of course I couldn't ignore my intuition. It was just it was screaming at me, basically, right at that time. So of course I went to the ER, and they told me if you didn't get here sooner, we would have had to cut off your leg, okay? So, and I was a runner at the time too, and so guys, I was just in the hospital. I was completely shocked. And so, yeah, if you don't listen to your intuition, if you don't develop it, then it can even cost you your arm or your leg or your life or someone else's life, okay? So it is also imperative to develop it, okay? And as far as like technology goes, right, and GPS and cars, right, when it comes to all of these things, right, because we have all of these tools, the technological tools, I find that they actually damper our intuition. Okay, so they have made our intuition much weaker because we are no longer relying on our intuition, but we're just relying on technology in order to guide us, and that's a very big problem, because once again we become dependent on something external, something outside of ourselves. Okay, and that's never a good thing. Okay, so the external things, they can misguide us. Okay, while the internal things, right, or something that's inside your intuition, something that's innate, that's within you, right, it cannot misguide you. I know a lot of people, they say, oh, your intuition can be wrong. I don't think so, guys. Okay, I really don't think so. So I'm gonna go to your intuition, right? So first of all, right, guys, first of all, right, I wanted to discuss intuition with you, and I wanted to tell you kind of like a really quick, funny story. Okay, so the reason I think why I'm so intuitive right now is because, well, first of all, I practice a lot of different things like meditation, right, and like mindfulness and things like that, right. I get into nature all the time, right, and so I trust it, right. But I will talk to you about the things that you can do in order to develop your intuition better. But first of all, it's story time, right. So when I lived in the USA, right, my mom, as crazy as it sounds, okay, as you know, or maybe you don't, right? Psychopaths, narcissists, they don't have an intuition. Okay, they are, for the most part, they are relying on their logical brain. Okay, they don't. They're completely out of touch with their emotions, right? So they cannot hear their soul. Your soul is the language. Your emotions are the language of your soul, right? And they don't have that language. It's not developed. They don't use it. At some point, my mom, she was using me as a kid. Okay, when we moved to America, she would take me on dates. I know it's gonna sound really crazy. She would take me on dates, okay, so I could tell her whether the guy is good or bad. Okay, so she would ask me, what do you think? Is he good or bad? So this, as screwed up as this sounds, okay, this kind of gave me the ability to this developed my intuition. Okay, because I was using it, and she was kind of I was using it to help her, right? So this developed my intuition better, right? This made me even more intuitive, and maybe she didn't realize what she was doing, but hey, I guess there's a positive side to everything, right? So that was the positive side of that. Okay, and so anyways, if you don't use something, you lose it, right? So make sure you're using your intuition. Okay, so let's take a look at the list that I wrote down. Okay, so what can you do? So number one thing that you can do, right, in order to develop your intuition is, let's just say you lost something, right? So let's just say you lost the keys, right, and you can't find them. So in this case, you need to slow down, right? Slow down, breathe in and out. Just try to stay as calm as possible, right? Take a deep breath in and then out, right? This kind of clears your mind. It relaxes your it relaxes your body, it relaxes your mind. Okay, it relaxes your nervous system, and so you're more able to listen to your intuition at this time. Okay, so you don't want to be in a fight or a flight mode when it comes to your intuition, right? Because you will not be able to hear it. Okay, so you have to be very calm. Okay, so when you lost something, okay, make sure you breathe in and out. That's gonna calm your nervous system, and then try to listen to your thoughts. So listen to the thoughts that are coming in. Okay, so when you get those thoughts, okay, try to see if they're correct. So maybe you get an image. Sometimes you might get a certain image, right? Maybe the image says, okay, they're in my pocket, right? Like in my jacket somewhere, right? So you go and you don't question it and you just check your jacket, okay? In most cases, guys, my intuition is like completely on point when it comes to these things, right? And so I trust it, okay? Another thing, right, is to trust your intuition, to not question it. And a lot of us do question it. A lot of us just discount it, right, as if it's like just our thoughts, right, and nothing important. But your thoughts matter too, you know. You are not your thoughts, right? But still, your thoughts matter, right? And so sometimes your intuition will be guiding you through the form, and it will come in as your own thoughts, right? And so you have to trust them. You have to trust your intuition, you know, and because it will guide you, or it will tell you about something that is happening, you know, at this moment. Like for example, with your kids, maybe, right? One time, guys, my kiddo, he was watching something. He was about to watch something that was very scary, okay, and it wasn't meant for kids, and it was like I couldn't believe it was even there. But guys, watch, if you have kids, okay, be careful with YouTube, okay, be careful with the things that they're putting out there. Be careful with the shows that they're watching, because basically it was like a Spider-Man, right? And he was about to it was like a woman, right? She was wearing a bathing suit and he was like kicking her basically off the cliff, okay? And they're showing this to kids, guys. This is so traumatizing. This is teaching kids that it's okay to hit, right? And it's also kind of like it's a woman, right? And a man is hitting a woman, right? So like imagine what it can do to their psyche. Imagine, you know, it's kind of traumatizing for someone, right, to watch, for a kiddo to watch violence like this, right? And so even through cartoons or whatever, right? So I was pretty shocked, and he didn't watch it, he didn't see it, because I was able to stop it before he watched it, okay? And it was like a short like clip. It was like a YouTube short, right? And so I listened to my intuition. My intuition was telling me, okay, go check, go quickly, go check on your kiddo, go now, right? And so I listened, right? And then when I listened, of course, I saw it before it happened. I was like, whoa, you know, and then I kind of watched the clip to see what it was, right? And my intuition was completely on point. Hey. Anyway, so yeah, just listen when it comes to your intuition, okay? And if you're getting a nudge, right? Then pay attention, okay? Because oftentimes, guys, also we are picking up on, unconsciously, we're picking up on a lot more when it comes to our environment, okay? And in terms of energy too, right? A lot of us can actually read energy, right? We can not only read the energy of other people, right? But we can also read the energy of buildings, of places, right? Of countries. So you know, this doesn't happen consciously, but it happens unconsciously, okay? And so yeah, you know, there's that, right? And so it's just, you know, your intuition brings some of these things to you, to your conscious awareness, basically, okay? So another thing, right, is what you can do is you can try to, hey, psst, stop. Another thing that you can do, hey, stop, psst, stop it. Sharik, stop it. Another thing, he's trying to, like, sharpening his nails. Anyway, so another thing that you can do, right, is you can look at other people, okay? So if you're seeing someone, okay, so let's just say maybe you don't know them, right? Sometimes some people are very good at reading energy, right, while others are not. Okay, so basically another thing that you can do when it comes to your intuition, right, is you can look at a person, right, and you can predict the outcome of your conversation with them, you know. So if you want to kind of discover whether a person will be negative or positive, right, you can just take a good read, right, of their energy. Or if you, of course, the less intuitive of us are probably not going to be as good at that, maybe, you know. But the more intuitive, right, or like I said, you can become more intuitive. So but before this happens, you can try to kind of predict the outcome of the conversation, you know. And so you can think to yourself, like, okay, this person, after speaking to them, I'm probably gonna feel this way, right? And I'm picking up maybe that, maybe they're a little bit they're a little negative, so the conversation is probably not going to be that positive, right? And so this tends to happen, guys, with very low vibrational individuals, okay? So people that have very dark aura or dark energy around them, what you will discover after getting into a conversation with them is that they will be very negative, okay? They will talk about negative things. Nothing will seem right, basically. They'll complain, they'll talk about other people, basically, okay? And so try to predict that. Try to predict the outcome of your conversation with whomever, right? You can also kind of do this through, eyes, okay? By just looking into someone's eyes, okay? This is not always an indication, okay? But it can be one indication, okay? So if someone has kind of like evil, hurt, painful, traumatic eyes, I would say, right? Because all of those emotions, it's like a sign of a person who hasn't worked through their trauma, right? And that shows in their eyes, okay? It's going to show in their eyes, and so you can usually predict the conversation with someone like this, okay? So if someone has sort of like evil eyes, right? You can the conversations will probably not be as positive, okay? And so that's another predictor. It's not always the case though, okay? So be careful with that, okay? But like I said, if you want to become better at this, try to predict the outcome of the conversations and try to see if you're right, And if you're not, okay, that's okay too, right? But this will kind of teach you to trust your own intuition, Let's see. Of course, another one, right, which is really, really important is learn to meditate, okay? Meditation is amazing. Meditation, mindfulness, right? It's going to teach you to silence your thoughts, okay? It's going to teach you to become more aware of your body, right? Of your thoughts, of yourself, okay? So it strengthens your self-awareness, right? It expands your consciousness, and it also helps you become more in tune with the world that's around you, okay? So yeah, and silencing your mind, and it's kind of like this, right? So when you quiet your thoughts, because a lot of us can have a lot of different thoughts coming in, right, into our mind, and so more often than not, these thoughts interfere with feeling, right? Just feeling, and then kind of allowing your mind to give you that information that you just felt and picked up, right, in your environment, okay? So that's why, like mindfulness is so powerful, right? Because you're just kind of through silence, right, or in silence, you can learn to read the energy that's around you, okay? And so there's that, right? And meditation will also help you stay calmer, and once again, this will reduce the fight or flight response, right, in pretty much any situation, okay? So it has a lot of different benefits, guys, so many different benefits. I believe I made a video about meditation, okay? So go watch that if you haven't already, right? But yeah, meditation truly is, it's God-given, it's just so... It's amazing, right? I really, really love it, and you feel just a million times better, like, after meditating, and it becomes very obvious to other people too, so yeah. And also, one other thing, right, and the last one is try to stay away from drinking too much coffee, okay? Or even any caffeine at all. Because once again, right, caffeine tends to put us into this fight or flight mode where we don't really feel. Yes, it's great for our mind. It definitely makes you sharper. You tend to remember things better. You can focus better, right? But at the same time, it's a drug, okay? And once again, it does it can impact your adrenals, right? And it can put you into this fight or flight mode, especially if you're drinking too much caffeine, right? Which in turn makes you kind of less sensitive, less intuitive, right? And so you aren't able to really tune into your intuition that much. You're probably going to have like a racing mind, a lot of thoughts, right? And you're not going to be as calm, right? And you're not going to be as receptive to the information that you're actually receiving and feeling, okay? And so there's this, that's the problem with caffeine, okay? I do like it sometimes, very sometimes, you know, but I try not to drink too much, maybe 1 cup, you know, every 3-4 days now or something like that, you know. I try to stay, actually I would like to quit probably eventually, you know, so I'm trying to drink more tea now, green tea, black tea, you know, but still it is caffeine, you know. But I find that black tea or green tea, they make me much more calmer basically than coffee, okay? So yeah guys, anyways, I hope you really enjoyed this video, okay? If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, okay? Please go check out any of my courses, check out my book. It's a healing guide for those of you that are in need of healing. And also please donate to I'm trying to raise funds for, through GoFundMe for a book, okay? I would like to release a book. I already planned it out. I have the footprint. And it's an amazing book for children, okay? It's a children's positivity book. Yeah, would really love to see this project come to life, okay? And with your help, I can make this happen, okay? So please donate if you can, okay? Or if you would like to. And thank you so much for watching, okay? Bye guys.